I'm Angie.
And I am Michelle.
And we are Blue Heavens. We are sisters who channel ancient and divine beings from two councils of thought. Lazarus is a divine counsel that teaches us love and compassion, while Lucian is the counsel that teaches us how to deal with our shit, how to deal with our spiritual shit in our ego, and how to like wrangle it in and bring some truth to its ass so we can move forward and have a happy life. Yeah. So today we're talking about exit points, and you may be like, what the crap's an exit point? Well, if you look at life in the terms of you are coming here to play a role, all right, let's say that as spirit, it is said that we know everything, but we haven't experienced everything we know. We want to experience what we know. So there are like rules and outlines for how this is done. So we come as a human to play a role. Okay, so look at it as a role. And there are 5 pre-planned points in the course of our life where we can just be like, okay, I'm fine with this point of my mission, and I'm fine to die in my human life and then just go back to the other side to do what's next. So you have 5 of these points, and as you meet them, if you want to stay, you know, whatever you wrote to happen may still happen, but it's not going to take you out. So we have 5 of them. Think about it. Do you know what some of yours have been? Because some of us are old enough, we've experienced some of them already, that you may know what some of these exit points have been. So let's get into this shit. This is super exciting. If you have any questions, type them in the comments, or send us a message if you're like, I don't want my question to be seen. I feel like I need to say that, but if you don't want your question seen, you can just send us a private message.
This is Loki. Okay, so what would be a question? And we will just respond, because this is a broad subject. So we're just going to let you just ask the questions, and we will do what we do best.
Okay. So I guess I would go straight to wanting to know how suicides relate to an exit point. So like my friend Cosmo, was that a written exit point for him in his life, or did he create it?
All right, and this is Kea. He created it. He created it. He was not meant. Okay, he's getting loud because if you know, we don't channel Edith of there, so we're going to be respectful, Cosmo, because, but no, Cosmo did not write this. He did not write this. He's saying life got just. He was living the perceptions of life, how he was doing it, and when he knew he fell off, he felt he fell off. His spiritual train was not on the ego train anymore. He choosied to doozy out. Yeah. And I'm repeating what he is saying. He is not, he's over there. I am, hear him, but he said it was just too much. And he knew that he was better off on another dimension to help his family, and the better purpose over here in his view, not our view, his view. Because a suicide is you're taking yourself out, and it's not written. You created a situation early on, and you just kind of willed it. Failure to thrive, as I believe is what you humans are calling this. Yes. And you've already willed it. Gurus can will themselves to die, but it's not suicide. They get to be older, and they know when it's time to leave. That's what Jesus did. Jesus transcended. So that was, again, that's not suicide. What Cosmo did, he willed it a long time ago. And when he saw in his own ego mind, it wasn't going where he thought his journey was going. He thought there was no point of return, because he knows he can come back. He knows that this is not the end things of end things. He knows he could come back. So he was like, he stopped it. And that is what happened. But when he did, he changed the charge of everybody else that was in his reign of scope. He changed that.
Right. So when Michelle had her incident on October 9th, Spirit said they weren't prepared for it, which had me thinking about my spiritual awakening, which I feel like was also possibly an exit point on Scott's friend's couch when I really lost my shit. Spirit was like there and gathered, and I felt like there was balloons in a party. So if you go to take your own life, does that mean you're not met with this like celebration that you're supposed to be met with at an exit point?
Okay, well, so let me discuss her exit point and your exit point first, and then we will get and you can ask your question accordingly. This is Krama Rishna. I'm a much higher than Kaya. So I feel this is where, and I am a more, so if you're wondering who I am more, I can come down. This is a part of Krishna energy, and it's easier for me to come forth. It's what will happen is she'll go into a panic attack and her heart rate will go. So I come down such as, so, and as a matter of fact, that's what her watch is alerting me, or it is up. But what happened with it? So what'll happen is gurus, okay, you have been devoted all your life to something, not sure you're experiencing, you knew that you've done this before. Your sister did not want to go through, because the soul light understood she was going to have to go through these rapes. She was going to have to go through these different things and scenarios she did not want to do. She wrote her exit point, which was the four-wheeler going backwards, and your aunt just happened to be there. Her car wreck was one. It was an exit point. She had an almost suicide attempt herself in an apartment when her daughter and both her little kids shook Unisum and something else, and I believe alcohol, and she laid there by a furnace. She was willing herself to die because she just didn't want to do it anymore. Being a young mom, she felt no assistance. She felt alone, and her sister-in-law came in and said, wake it up, do not do this. And she didn't do it again because it made her kids cry. And when Laura felt that, she felt mom was leaving. So October 9th came around, and now you go, well, what was that about, and why spirit was not prepared? Well, a guru, what they will do, we are gurus, and what we will do is we will take your karmic garbage from you. We can do that because we're not of your world and we're not of your realm. So as if a human we love, what do you think Loki will do? If he feels that you have learned your lesson, the shadow and the light that you'll feel when he's talking, you're taking a life, he's removing his karma that you keep reliving, and he'll remove it from you. That's the shadow, and he'll remove. You and your sister had too much karmic debt. We had to take it. Well, when it leaves the body, it took the part of the garment. It had to take that part. You got to remember, it's multiverse, multiverse, multiverse. Spirit was not prepared for it to go that way. Spirit was prepared, it was going to leave, but how the exit point? It's usually through a meditation, and it would go. Well, it didn't go through a meditation. And then to add boot, she was already really depressed about that because of her divorce. She felt alone. So this exit point, when it left, there was no celebration. All she felt was her son holding on to her, begging her not to leave, which almost stopped her. Because all of the beings, she loves all of the beings, but the one she loves the most was him, and still him. It is him.
Yeah.
And that part of myself, because they're all aspects of me, and that's the part of me she loves the most. But that's the most hurt part of me, is Lucaeus. That's the most hurt parts of me. But what happened was when she came back, and the reason she's tied to Marcus and she is tied now to Lucaeus, Kaya has karmic debt he's got to pay. So he's just going to go ahead and do it here. He's always been here. So what's going on is karmic debt's being removed. So like you meet Blue Heavens and you go all of this stuff and you're describing these ego, because she left Angie and because you left as well, we took the garbage. Karmic debt was removed. So what you're doing now is you're walking in your service. You're walking in action. You're not creating any dharma. You're living your dharma, but we're not doing any karma. You're not doing any karmic damage. You're walking in your action of what you need to do, so you don't create any more karma to have to keep coming back. That's what we do. So that point, that wasn't a suicide. That was more, she left, we had to remove, and we had to take it to Atlantis, work on it. Benjamin stayed, he was not prepared. That was all right. And she comes back. That's why she's mixed, because she gave up part of her so that energies as us can come forth in the body and emit this energy. Otherwise, if the human is here with the ego, we cannot teach. But she still wants to, she's still here. But now you have Kaya with your brother who is here. So Angie, you get the best of both worlds. You get your sister and your brother. You get both of them. Get both. So this, when I would say for you both, was you had to leave so that spirit can come in. Now, suicide is much different than that. A suicide is, I'm saying, I can't do this anymore. I see that this lesson is going to go not the way, but it is not planned. The spirit can't prepare. The spirit knows everything, but the human will do things and sometimes her spirit off.
Mm.
Now with Cosmo, they knew Loki tried to stop it, and Locaeus tried to stop it. But sometimes it'll be a split second, and it is created, and spirit has to think fast.
Yeah.
But once you go, then it's already an automated thing. They know what to do. There is no celebration. You have not earned that celebration. You did not earn walking in that light. You took something that was given to you. Walking amongst, you're chosen to walk. This is a big thing. You were chosen to walk. You go through a lot of practice before you even come here, and a practice body to work on how you're going to be. Who are you going to be? And it is a extensive college education. This isn't you just walk on here and stupid. When they say you have all the wisdom in your heart and it's just remembering, that's exactly what you're just remembering, everything you learned over here. But then you are, when you leave, you are disrespecting all the other ones that wanted to be here, but you were chosen to be here, and and when you go back, you go to the end of the circle now, and you wait your turn to come back. And that is, and your paradise can go down accordingly.
Wow.
So that is what happened when you commit suicide. You do that all to yourself. They figured you made that conscious choice. That is on you. Whether it was a split second, whether you did it and planned it, that is why. And it's not a punishment. It is you're just not ready, and that's not be taken as a punishment. Nobody sits here and says, "Oh my God, Cosmo decided he." No, it is not. It'll be in love, forgiveness, surrender. It is what happened, and they go through extensively what happened. Where did you feel in this ego you went wrong, and then clear it up, say that is not what happened, and you relived the life. That Cosmo go back at everybody, the roles, and they come back and they redo this for him. They will redo this for him. Like, we will come back and we will help once he knows, and he will understand, and he will live the full life because we love him, and we will do it again for him. And his potential will change this course. This will not be the same. Things will be different. So that's what happens. You choose to come back to help this person live their best perfection of their life and their choices. So that's what will happen. So when you commit suicide, you kind of throw everybody off that might be here in their life, and it's their choice to come. And if they choose not to, then you get different people, but it's not going to be the same. If that makes sense. I'm trying to make sense. This is a very broad subject.
Right. No, it completely makes sense. There's a blue jay out front hopping around, and I'm watching this little blue jay hop around because I like little blue jays. Okay, so we need to work on failure to thrive. So if we feel like we have this failure to thrive, we don't want to be here anymore, we need to stop focusing on our what do we need to do? Let's ask spirit, what if someone's there where they want to be done, what can you tell them to let them realize that's not the way, and maybe give them hope to continue the walk?
All right. Well, this is still Brahma Krishna. Okay. Krama Krishna. I go by several names. So what I would tell this person is, this is what we do. She left, and there's not much left of the light known as Michelle. Her role, there's not much left. And Kea is majority. So when you guys, so what does that got to do with you, what you talk? You use yourself as an example. I understand exactly where you're coming from. October 9th, she could say, October 9th, I left. I had it. Although she knows now a bigger divine reason why, she might still like to have the part of her, because now it's majority male. You'll see the male clothing, the maleness. She misses this feminine, but she's no longer that feminine. So she gave up. But that's okay. She gave up to service, and that is okay. So what I would tell somebody is, so you're thinking about this, okay? Well, one, you're loved, and you are unconditional loved. You know, you are so loved. Remind them. Go to that point in their life, as also lights can do this. It takes a second for you to sit down somebody and go to the point they felt this. It started somewhere. Was it that you didn't feel you got enough love? Is it you don't feel love? You're angry because you're angry at the vibration where I went wrong, and it's never too late to start again. I would hold their hand. I would say, look, you're focusing on yourself, because this is exactly, you're going, and let's think about all the good things you've done. Let's talk about all the good things you've done. And that's what makes you happy. Because I would want to get them out of that fear stance. I'd want to get them into a more loving embrace, because when you're in a loving stance, you don't even think about that. But you got to make sure it's going to be permanent, though, because you can get them there, but they got to stay here. And it's reminding them, go to this positive stack of, you did this, and being spirit, we can do that quickly. Is we would go somebody and let's say Cosmo, for example. Let's say, we had Cosmo front. It would be like, Cosmo, look, you are so loved, and your situation seems dire, and you feel like you've walked the wrong, different direction. But spirit is here to tell you, you're right on track. You made no mistakes. It is just this angry part of you that feels all of these angry emotions, and that's okay. When you're frustrated, it means you're going forward. It means you need to change, and that is a good thing. Let's not take that as a bad thing. You're not separate from the Godhead. You are the Godhead. You created your reality. You can recreate your reality. And I would show him how to recreate it through my eyes. I would send my energy of love and say, just feel that. And it's going to outdo anything, and say, you have the same, and hug, and you say, this is love. This is what it feels like. As when you're here, you forget, you feel separate. I would tell Cosmo, when you look at your family, when you look at your children, you see that's reflected. The light that is in my eyes is in your eyes. It's in her eyes. It's in everybody else's eyes, your son's eyes. It's where it's reflects in your friend's eyes. You are that love. Tell me something great about you. Tell me something wonderful about you. And he would light up, right? Because right now I feel him lighting up, because that's what he wanted to be acknowledged. And then spirit would just keep on reminding this Godhead part of him, the most divine, the most love. And when you get to that point, you don't want to go. You don't want to go. You really do want to work on yourself, because you go, damn, that makes sense. I don't want to leave. I don't want that. And then what we do is we say, Loki, remove that karma they have felt, that they have traveled. If they have come to us and they feel the suicide, the karmic debt's been paid. They just don't know how to get out of it. We just do this. We get it out, and the goosebumps have hit. That's why Loki and Lokeas had tried with Cosmo. They were trying to tell him, we'll remove it, but you have to say.
Yeah.
And he would have, and it would have been, but he made no mistakes. We're not sitting there, I'm not blaming Cosmo. Right. And I'll still tell you, Cosmo, you still loved, and you still help. You still do everything, just from a different realm. There's no punishment. You just felt in this, it didn't go right. Well, you thought, well, we'll do it again. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. It'll be the next time, and we'll do it over and over and over and play that role till you get it. That is how loving spirit is, unconditionally. And that is what I would tell somebody. That's what I would, and everybody's got their own way of talking. Just talk to them, listen to them. If you got to travel to them, bring them a cup of coffee, whatever do they like. Just sit with them. They really just need, if you sat like with Cosmo, and he says that if anybody would just sat with him with beer, cigarettes, let him talk, let him vent.
Yeah.
And then he would pick up the trash, because that would be his refocus, to clean up the environment, to clean up what he did. And painting, I see all kinds of different things to get his mind elsewhere, because your love enlightens your social beings. Humans are social beings. And that's what, and if you would get depressed, you're thinking of you, and that's your ego, and you are so into you and how horrible you are. Put yourself in spirit, put yourself in service, and you aren't. When you are serving somebody else, it will get, you can't be within yourself in this loving state if you are doing that. That's what I would do. Everybody can kind of take that as a seed and take it as, because if you just plant a seed to somebody, they are loved completely. You will change their mind, refocus them, and you have to hold their hand, stay with them, or let them stay with you, or call them, text, whatever you need to do. We're all there to help. You were put there in their path for a reason. Spirit put you there for a reason, because you knew on that vibration how to help.
Perfect. I was suicidal. I've been depressed most of my life. And the biggest thing that allowed me to change was Scott letting me be me, just loving me for whoever and whatever it was that I was. He didn't judge me. He didn't put me down for being me. He didn't yell at me for having emotions. Just this free, unconditional love is what freed me from my prison of fear and self-hatred. And I again, I've said this, I almost took my own life a month, well, actually months before my oldest daughter was about to have cancer. So if I would have taken my life, I would have created an exit point, and maybe my daughter didn't survive cancer if that was what I had chose. I often think of how terrible that would have been. So I would have been spirit hovering over Ellie, saying things to her, and she would not have heard me. And I think of how defeated I would have felt. So I try to use that to remind me of what it felt to be there. So if you are there in this just yuck, I don't feel loved, I've been hurt, all of this life has been too much for me, maybe all the things that you've been afraid of and unwelcoming of, you've already experienced. I feel like a lot of us, we came into this life, like Michelle had said, she didn't want to be raped, she didn't want to be treated like this. So we have all these barriers up because we're coming here to play a role, and we know a lot of the things that we're going to be doing here, we don't want to do them. So look at some of these difficulties that you've experienced in this life and know that maybe all these hard times are done. They're done as soon as you want them done. Once you have learned whatever the lessons were that they brought you, you are done with them and you can start building good things. I love my life now. Never, ever thought I would have a happy life. Never. I'm a weirdo, right? People don't like weirdos. And as this grows, I get even weirder and people are even more like, look at the loon, which is a fun little story. But I love me. I'm happy with me. I never had self-esteem. Like Henry Rollins has this song called Low Self-Opinion, and I used to sing it all the time, and it's like telling me like, hey, don't think so low of yourself, you're more than that. But I just sit in it and sulk like I hate myself. I lied, I made mistakes, I did all these things, and I would just sit and play them in my head or allow my ego to play them in my head, be like, you suck, like you can't have friends, remember when so and so told you this and then you told this person, oh right, I gossip. Stop it. Stop all those things. You did that already. Why are you torturing yourself with it? There's no need. We are here to live a happy life. We are here to love one another again, to remember who we all are. We no longer need to experience all these heavy pains. We can just love our life. So let's say that we go all the way to our fifth and final exit point. That just means that we succeeded in the mission we came here to do. We accomplished all the big things that we came here to accomplish. Maybe you leave on exit point number 3. Maybe you learned so much up till that point. That's all you needed to know. You're like, you know what? I don't need 4 or 5. I didn't need that extra learning. I kind of got it at my 3rd exit point. Whatever it is, it's all individually tailored to you, to me, to us, because it's us that's experiencing it.
Mm-hmm. And this is Roki, and every life, so you got to remember multiverse is stacked. So whatever you're doing, you're learning the same lesson, but in a different way. So what we do is illusion. So you might go, again, we know what you do, Loki. You've said it a billion effing times, F-bomb man. We know what you do. No, you don't. I'll tell you why you don't know. It's going to be in the book. Get a copy. Read it. I'll sign it. Loki. And it's going to be like Loki. Like that. So when you say the name, you will say Loki signed it.
Yeah.
But it's in the book. But so as you heard Krishna say, we are all his aspects. So right. We are all different parts of him that have left and bombs things and stuff. So, and our purpose is different. So in the illusion, and this will be, and this does, and so she'll go through an illusion, and every day she's got her little spinning wheel, and we've all been every aspect to her to get her out of, because she likes certain aspects on us, right? So we got to change her up a little bit. Say, no, we're not doing that today. You got to do this. And what, and the illusion is whatever she's going through in this life is a guarantee the illusion is going to take her there. So let's just say, like today, Marcus will be her dad, which is never a thing. And Liam is going to be a friend. So she's got to find the life that fits that. And how does it correspond to her life, and how is she going to learn from that illusion? It is just an illusion. So, so what is that? It's not another life she's going. We're creating an illusion. Quite simply, an illusion. And we're teaching her thoughts. Did you see where this thought went, which created that spiral and created that over here and created that? Oh, I see it. In her beginning illusion, she was always in the hell. She was in the hell. Okay. And she'd always kill herself. She'd scratch herself. She'd do something and die. And then we would go back and say, well, look at the role you played. What is this role you played, which made me play the role I played, which made him play the role he played? And what are you doing in this current incarnation that is creating that particular thing? Because their lesson in this illusion is going to go right to what's going on in her life. And that's how she's learning right now. Many people do this illusionary type of training. This is what you do when you are expanded, weird, whatever you want to call it. And some people will do it from a higher paradisal stance. They'll do it like that. She just understands the illusion better. She grew up with soap operas. So she just likes that. We got to remind her sometimes, okay, stop the drama. But life is drama, and you know how to get out of the drama. But through these illusions, she knows how. So what does that got to do with anything? If you feel like, and you asked Kramarishna this, like what would I tell somebody? Okay. I would first go to the illusion. Where did it start? What are you telling yourself that's creating the perception you don't need to be here? It came from somewhere. Where? Michelle, October 9th, she felt not loved. She's about to see her ex-husband get married, or not watch it, but just know. She felt from lowest in the universe, even though she's got divinity rolling in her veins, quite literally, she didn't want to be here. And that's a very low stance. If you have us as sitting there waiting for how this is all going to occur, we do not know. This was not part of anything. Okay, it's just the closest part. That's so how did we talk to her? And we learned from talking to her what we did not do right. Marcus was always in a hammock and not paying attention. As he did in life, he didn't pay much attention. He took more advantage of, I'm here, I'm like on a vacation, and the others can do my job. I don't even have to be here. And he didn't want to talk to her. He just, I don't want to do it today. Rocaeus was always, but he's very needy. He loves her. He's in her face all the time. And here's me. Hey, you know how that goes. I'm just me. I'm just me. And that can be aggravating, right? That can be very, very annoying when you're in somebody's face, like, run around outside and it's, oh, man. And so when this happened, we're watching Rocaeus. I, as a father here, I'm watching my son and not knowing what to do at this stance, because she always depended on me. Of all of them, what to me, help me, because she's wanting to go, but part of her no. Right. And here I am as the protector, the wolf, and I can't. It's free will. I can't. And watching my son bear this, I'm not going to see her if this happens, and he's not going to for a bit either. Yeah. And there was Marcus for the first time. Oh shit! I've done absolutely nothing. This is a wake-up call to not only her, but to us. He's one of the most, he's learning to be attentive. I say he's not the most attentive, but he's learning to be attentive. Where is his problems? Where is his illusion? It was a wake-up call. Not only was it for her, but it was to also help her teach all this garbage she's accumulated through all these other lives. Yeah. And that is what happened over here. And I would tell somebody, where did this happen? Where do you feel that could not be a thing? Look at me. I have a damn alligator named after me. You think I've been like that shit? No, I do not. I do not enjoy tits. I don't enjoy tits on the other side. I do not enjoy them over here. Do I like periods? No, I do not. Do I like all of that? No, I do not. Do I enjoy the smells? No, I do not. Do I enjoy doing all this shit? No, I do not. Get the gist, all right? I do not enjoy any of this. But I love her. The biggest thing is I love her. I don't enjoy all of the parts of the woman. So, yes, Loki, you could just exit the hell out and just say, whatever. I won't do that. I love her. If I chose, I could leave. I could say, oh, I'm done. Bye. I don't. So why would you leave? You want to do this all over again? The shitty life you hate so much. You want to do this again? No, I think you don't want to. I can stop Michelle simply right now. She'll be going through a hard time, which is less and less, by the way. She doesn't really do that anymore.
Yeah.
But if she starts to maybe this is, like a little millisecond, we're all like, do you want to do this shit again? She goes, nope. I go, cool. Let's not do this. Then we take her immediately out.
Yep.
So create your illusion. I would actually go to your illusion. What part of you do you not feel disconnected? Where did it happen? And we would get it. I'd take the karmic from you. Then you can go, wow, that was great. Just do good deeds. You do things, but sometimes you don't know how to get out of it. It goes into a maya, it goes into a spin, and you don't know how to get out. That's very common in a human. That is why I'm a dark worker, whatever you want to call me. That's what I do. That's what Lucifer does. You shine the light, we get it out of you. But it's up to you to want and will that, to do that. I know I'm kind of going all over the place. I'm just saying what I feel people are wanting, and they're asking and they're questioning.
Yeah.
Because they always ask, what illusion? What do you mean by illusion? That is what I mean by illusion. And Angie, and one thing you're talking about, Ellie. Ellie would have heard you. She would have heard you. Her love for you is so strong, she'd have heard you. But the problem would have been, mom's not here. I see and I feel mom, but she's not here. And forever she's going to blame herself for your death, because little children will blame themselves for a parent's death. So for all that time, she would hear mom. She'd go and she would probably do this work wondering, where is my mom? Can I talk to my mom? Why? And she might be angry. She might get her cancer back because she's angry at mom. Maybe she goes off and she does something fantastic. It would have been her choice. She would have made that conscious choice, but that would have been all on the perception she had at the moment this all happened. So think of that too, how you do affect somebody else when you do exit out. You will create something in them. If you don't love yourself, what do you want to do to the rest of the people in your life that you do love?
Yeah.
And that. So, I mean, it is hard because everybody is different. Like I could go up to somebody and talk to them, but maybe that's not what they need. Maybe they feel they need $1 million to save them. And that's exactly, no, it's not. It's an attachment. Once as a human, if you understand, here's the thing, while you're here to go to love. Quit attaching yourself to ideals. Quit attaching yourself to things that don't need to be attached to. Don't attach to things. Just quit attaching to thoughts and perceptions and judgments and whatever. Stop it. Just stop it. Go according to what you plan here to do with your life. You can't do what Tom, Harry, and Dick are doing over here. If your job in life is just to, maybe you're to work at a grocery store, and that is your life purpose, to live in here and be the happiest grocery person in the whole wide world. But if you see somebody over here like Jason Momoa, and like, I think I need to do this, but that's not what you plan. And you know what you're here to do. I'm not saying don't live your dreams. Did you know logically Jason Momoa's plan was to do this? Yours was to do this. India understands this. They call it Dharma. They know their Dharma. They know exactly what they're meant to do in life, and they do this. And but everybody around them plays their roles. You know what to do. I know. So that's the problem. We need to know what our roles are. Don't try to be over here. We will encourage you to be who you are meant to be in this beautiful experience you're calling life. There's no need to take yourself out. You can't take yourself out, like Angie said, if you have achieved it. Some people have, and some people like Michelle, some people like Angie they did have an exit point, but they decided to stay. They saw more to stay, but it brought in spirit, because spirit can take, here. Yeah. And she chooses to do it like how she does it. She's doing it like this. But this is what their Dharma is. This is their service. And this is our service. So it kind of works out. The spirit is working with them. Yeah. Yours might be something totally different. You want to teach something totally different. And it's all, this has a lot to do with, you look at your life purpose, and your life purpose. And you can be happy wherever you are. You just got to choose to be happy. Choosy doozy, as Cosmo would say. Cosmo said a lot of it, he didn't understand his life purpose. And I told him before, your life purpose was to be for everybody else. You brought such joy to people, you didn't see it and you knew it. He was the ears for everybody. He'd bring humor to you. He'd bring a lot of listen to this. He'd bring a lot of hard truth to you to listen. But he loved you as he told you this. He's a big guy. He had his own experiences he was supposed to do because of other lives, and karmic, he's supposed to, these actions. I've got to, good and these bad karmic debts. And he knew this. He knew that I got to live, But his purpose was not to be over here. He always had himself over here, over here, over here. I was just over here. a famous rock star, or I was this, or I was Buddha, or whatever. And that wasn't what he was supposed to be doing. His life purpose was to be here, be a family man, with or without his wife, to be the best dad he could to his children, however that meant, be that friend. That was his purpose in life, to be that loving presence when he felt he had none. That was it. But he's serving that purpose from another way. But it does mean he will redo this. So I told him, he will redo this, and I'm gladly helping. That is no problem. And but it'll perfect the soul.
Right.
So I'm hoping this is helping others. I'm giving multiple here. And, if you got to take notes and rewind it or whatever you need to do, all this is going to be in our book.
Yeah.
And, read this, because we really are passionate about suicides. We do not want you to do anything at all. We don't want you to do that. That's what we're doing this live for, to understand there is exit points. You'll know the exit point. And so Michelle's car wreck, she says, let's talk about her car wreck. And I'm going to let her talk about her, so you'll know the difference. There was a difference between the failure to thrive and this one.
Yeah.
And that's me, Michelle. So my car wreck, I saw a light. I knew I was gone. And I saw a man standing. He had a beard, and he was in white, and it was golden white. It was beautiful, but he was like a gatekeeper. And all he does, he puts his hand on me, and he said, you're not ready to be here just yet. And I felt, and I could just hear, something over here I wanted so bad, but they blocked it. This being blocked it. It was Azra. He blocked it. I couldn't go further. But it was Locaeus. He was excited, they had to keep it. I would have ran. But it was a light. It was a beautiful ball of light. And it said, you can choose to, because I said, I'm scared of how I'm going to be. I don't know what's going to happen. Am I paralyzed? I don't know what's happening. Right. All I know is I had a car wreck. I'm scared. I'm here. And I'm calm. I'm collected. And I don't feel no pain. But I saw a light. I felt lifted. I felt very loved. And I felt like I want to be here, but this gatekeeper would not let me go across. You're not in it, and very lovingly, you're not ready to go. You still got a purpose here on your realm here. And I said, what do I do with my experience? I said, I'm going to be in pain. I don't know if I'm dead. Am I going to be, what's going to happen? And the being simply just said, it's however you choose it. He said, you can choose it to be painful, or you can choose it to be an experience and learn from it and go forth from it. It's your choice. So I decided that's what I wanted to do. So that's why I got out of the hospital for 4 days. Or to do my crutches. That's why I got out, because I wasn't going to do it. Mom and Dad just go, that was the weirdest thing, because I described it to them, and they were just so weirded out. Like, yeah, they knew it happened. It was just okay. October 9th, nothing like that. I got nothing like that. There was no light. There was no nothing. I just lost my senses. I just knew I couldn't feel. I couldn't see. I couldn't hear anymore, and my senses were leaving me. I couldn't think. I was basically didn't know what was going on. And I saw no light. I saw no celebration. There was none of it. I just felt chaos. I felt peace, because of course you're going to feel it. But I felt it wasn't ready to go. I was not ready to go. When I'm back here, like for example, now is mostly Kea. I am basically Kea. My kids call me Kea, Mom and Kea, because, and it's not, he's got to remember he's human. So of course it's identification. Yeah. And people might go, well, but see, had I not left, what would have happened? I take it as a blessing, because it just means I can do the channeling more. But I miss my sister. I don't have memories. I can't even write my bio, because honestly, I don't remember my bio. I don't remember anything. So there's a lot what happened when I decided I didn't want to do this and threw everybody off. And I hear the effects of what happened. Now here's Locaeus, because he mixed, but it was meant to happen divinely, and all it was good. Now he has karmic debt. He knows how to get out of it. He's not worried about it. And it helps everybody do that. But when you do that, it was an exit point. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it was an exit point. I think I forced an exit point. I just wanted to get the hell out of here, get out of the hell Dodge. But my car wreck was an exit point. It was a light. It was love. So that was an exit point. This was not meant to be an exit point. It didn't have the same vibration to it. And when I did what I did at the apartment, I felt darkness. Again, I was losing my senses. I just heard Dina tell me, you get the hell up. This is bullshit. I'm not raising your kids. Because Kenny and me were fighting. I felt in this horrible stance. Nobody's helping me. But this is my experience. I was to go through it. I would have left my kids, but there was no celebration. There was nothing. And Cosma describes that too. Wendy describes that too. There is no celebration. So you have an exit point, you will see a light. And you'll just know it's okay to go because you fulfilled everything you possibly could have known. But I was told to come back. You're just not done. There's so much more you can do. Why are you leaving now? You want to do perfection. That's what I felt like. Now, the more we do this, that's what it was, is they're going to be here to teach. And there needs to be the sisters. There need to be the sisters. We've done this before. Kea was an actual, our brother. He was here in that sense, but it didn't work because when you're in a human body, he has his own way of doing whatever. But here he has to, he's forced to. But he's been with us all our lives. We're just now doing, but so understand too that failure to thrive isn't the best. It isn't. I mean, it really isn't. If you got choice, don't.
Our friend Kramer is on the other side now also, and his was a failure to thrive, and he regrets it now. They all have regretted it because they see the pain and added struggle that they've added to everybody's life, and then they see what they missed out on had they been able to do a course correction. So one of the biggest things that has helped me overcome a lot of my illusions has been doing things for other people. I was selfish. I always thought about myself, and I thought everybody else was thinking about me and talking about me. Like I was just, it's all about me. It's so not all about you. Everybody is in their own hell if it's all about me, but it isn't. It's all about all of us. We're all this thing. And if you can get out of your head and do something good for somebody else, it starts to lift your spirit. And it kind of lowers your ego. It starts to balance yourself out. When you just do me, well, you're stuck on me. There's no room for anybody else. It's just you. And we're all supposed to be a community, a unity. It's not just me, it's all of us. So if you can get out of your me and go help some other me that really needs help, you're just going to feel better about yourself. You're not going to be giving yourself things to be guilty or shameful over. You're giving yourself things to be actually kind of proud of. Like Matthew McConaughey said, that doing things for other people is kind of selfish because of the way that you feel about it. And even I was watching a Rick and Morty the other night, and Rick was talking about the same thing, that if you put yourself down for somebody else, it is still selfish. You are still being selfish because of the reward you get for doing that behavior. There really isn't much of a difference. You are being rewarded for it. So it is way better to be rewarded for doing something for somebody else than punishing yourself for just being stuck in your own head. So like we pick up litter, you could donate items to Goodwill. You could send a check to a charity or send some money to a charity. I have a friend that has to have he has congestive heart failure, and he could use money for a home and to help him with a lot of his medication. So if you're like, hey, I'd like to help your friend, let me know. I will send you his details. There's plenty of people out there that could really use that helps lift them while they're in a low place. And that coincides with helping you feel better when you're in your low place. And it is a beautiful thing. And I don't think people talk enough of it, like these acts of kindness and stuff, doing something for a stranger. So we went on vacation and we were on a riverboat, and I had sunscreen, and there was mainly older people on the boat, and there's 3 levels. So we're just baking in the sun for 10.5 hours. And I had sunscreen. So I thought, I'm just going to go offer people sunscreen. I knew it was going to be weird. I know I'm weird, and I'm coming up to people like, hey, you want sunscreen? But it was a mixed bag, and it really hurt my feelings because I just wanted to be nice, and still I did the right thing. But people are so angered by kindness. Like I went up and I was like, I have sunscreen. Is there anybody up here that would like sunscreen? I know it would have been around time to reapply it, right? And people are like, I don't want her sunscreen. Well, I put sunscreen on. Why is she giving us her sunscreen? There's a guy in the corner and he's like, oh, I'll take your sunscreen. I was just sitting here thinking I didn't want to end up being a lobster. And I was like, well, God sent me up here to give you sunscreen. And he was like, well, just put it on my arms. And he's like, well, will you rub it in? And I was like, I came to do a good deed, but not that good of a deed. I'm not going to rub it in. So he did it. And then more people started to be like, okay, I'll take crazy lady sunscreen. But later on, I had a couple of people that walked by and they were like, thank you for coming up and giving me sunscreen. I didn't burn. It didn't burn. Like, good. I'm glad I could help you. And there was a lady and an older man that sat down next to me. And she looked to the older man and she knew who I was. So I think she was about to like spill one on this guy, like, oh, it's the sunscreen lady. He was not paying attention. So he threw her off. So she said, do you remember that lady that went upstairs and was giving out sunscreen? And he turned, he was like, who? That loon? And I just sat there and she knew it was me. She knows she knows I'm hearing him call me a loon. And she just like starts to whisper to him. And part of it hurt my feelings. But then it's like, I would much rather be a loon for trying to help somebody than be an asshole that just kept my sunscreen to myself while old people got burned. I couldn't handle that. Like that would really have made me really sad. And your son Trevor got burned. It's like, I had sunscreen. Why didn't you get it? Like, but it sucks. So you may go and do nice things for other people. No, you may be a loon. And people may be like, what is wrong with you? Do it anyway. It is way better to be nice and kind and helpful to somebody than to only think about yourself and be selfish. If you have that pushback like I did, do it anyway. It was not comfortable for me. I did not enjoy that. It made me really uncomfortable, but I knew what I was doing was right. But yet I'd come up to some people and I'd feel like I needed to offer an explanation to why I was offering this. And Spirit was like, no, you don't have to give them an explanation for why you're doing this. Just do it. They'll have whatever judgments or assumptions they want to have on it. It didn't matter, but do nice things anyway. Even though it may be difficult to do them anyway.
Right. This is Michelle. And that's what Spirit on there too got me out of the comfort zone. And it was like we were like on that boat and we were sitting on the level, and I noticed people were looking for chairs. And Mom and Dad were doing that. They'd sit for a little bit and Dad offer his chair up or whatever else. So me and Dave were sitting, and the sun, just because I bake and I want to be in the shade, well, I missed out on the shades. I go, okay, well, Spirit wants me here for a reason. Okay, that's fine. Well, I was sitting with, I'm thinking, I think it was Ellie, Ellie and Laura. And I heard Spirit say, these people are walking, looking for a place to, why don't you give up your table? And I was like, okay. And Dave had been telling me for the past 10 minutes, I really think these people need to give up our seat. And I'm like, you're right. The Spirit was doing it, So when we did it, we ended up, Mom and Dad were they were standing. They go, oh, look, in the shade, there's seats. So Spirit rewarded us for doing that. And we got shade instead. So, and then Ellie, she was, reminiscing about an old boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend. And I'm going to say it referring, that's how Spirit is referring to it that way, because he will be coming back. So they're saying it like an ex-boyfriend. So that's how I'm doing it. So she's watching it. That's why that's coming from Spirit. So Loki felt the need to get her to laugh. And the people behind us were just needing that too. So Loki just goes off, had her snorting, Laura snorting, and going off, getting very loud, which made our waiter come around going, you love life? I love life. That's all love life. They love life. And Ellie said, I love life. I went to howl. Ellie said, will you howl? I said, I want to howl, but her parents are right over here. I don't know if that's a good idea. So it was just little things like that, get everybody else. And then here comes the waiter and yeah, you go. So her and David are wanting to go out of the boat. So they went the wrong direction. So of course they're stuck in a crowd of people are standing, and it's okay. Or just want to get off the boat, understandable. And so David just kind of crawls, jumps, whatever. He's so kind of thin, little ninja body. And here's Michelle coming. Whatever. So, and then by the way, this started off with Michelle, and this is now Loki. So if you're wondering, we just kind of switched. You're wondering, wait a second, Michelle got a we do this a lot. So I got excited. So see, and these older people, it was hilarious. And they said, you belong to him. And she says, I don't belong to him. He's a friend of mine. I do not belong to him, but I like to go down where he's going. And they and helped push her down nicely. She's just up on the old gentleman's toe. He said, out. But these people were like kind of shoving her aside and, oh, move. You need to move so she can get to her friend. He said, and they go, friend. She goes, it is this friend, not friend. And then she was, because she was frustrated because she's, oh my God, these people went out of their way to do that. She felt bad. And one lady out of the blue, she just said, she just goes, are you okay, honey? Even though they're all moving, are you okay, Michelle? She was taken aback, like, oh, yeah, I'm fine, thank you. She says, oh, bless you. She said, I don't know how you did that, but bless you. And it started off with your chairs and just being generous. And see, that's what it does. And you had things happen for you. You got to sit on the boat after you doing that. So you were rewarded. Yes. You're rewarded. So Trevor was being a little selfish. He lost his glasses. He's being selfish, self-centered. And he was treating his mom like total shit. So.
And he got sunburned.
And he got sunburned. I offered him sun. If you watch me, I tried. He was declining. And Michelle goes, I go, okay. So, but that was on him. And he lost his glasses. It was Karma saying, he came in, he said, I lost my glasses. And I said, well, you're being an ass. So, yeah. And he said, you know, so that's what can happen. So yeah. Be a nice person. And that's why, and if you got to look like a loon or whatever, then be that. I guarantee you, Angie, they will remember that. They will always remember that. And they'll do something. Well, the loon, she did that for me. And now they're going to be loony next. And I'm not insulting you. I like it, by the way. I'd rather be a loon and be a normal person.
Yes. Whatever has happened to most of society, I want no part of. So I am a loon because I'm not that. So it's all good. It's all good. I knew I was a loon, but just he said it so negatively. And it's like, excuse me, sir, I'm a good loon.
I want the good ones, not for the bad.
The good ones, sir.
That's a good. And so now we have a puppy, 8 months. Oh, now as of now, 9. He's like 9 weeks, I guess. And oh my gosh, and he's already wanting authority over me. Already, I'm alpha, and oh yeah, he comes after me like he's trying to do alpha all over me, and it's confusing. He comes over here, like to her, like. What the hell? Woman body, man energy? This is confusing. I don't know. I want to be alpha. I don't even care. And I have to come forth and do that. But Michelle goes, why is he testing? I know, because of you and the alpha and the canine. I get all of that. And I said, but honey, she has a hard time setting boundaries. He's a puppy. She herself has to set the boundaries. I can set the boundaries for her body, but she's got to come forth and set the boundaries for herself, because he's approaching me and Locaeus differently than her. So she's got to set boundaries. So what did the divine do? Here's a cute little puppy you can love and set boundaries to. See, that's how divine, that's a lesson she needed. Now, it was one of the lessons when she left October 9th, she didn't know how to set boundaries. So the divine says, you guys do so much. She should do it, but just do it nicely this time. And she's done a lot of karmic good. So let's do a puppy, but let her learn again. You guys set boundaries. You have to do it through a puppy. Yeah. So, and that's the beautiful thing, karma. So do nice things. And you have a lesson such as this, you get a beautiful little puppy and you can play. And he will be, he just, oh yeah, Angie and Scott got to see him. He's so cute. Yeah, he is so cute, but he wants to be, alpha. And he's trying to, but he's not going to be alpha, right? He's not going to be, and he sniffs her crotch. Like, where's the penis? There is none. It's not, it's just not there. I look every day, there's not, I'm trying. But do nice things. And they do all the time. They do spirit gifts and do things like that. And Laura does spirit gifts. Yeah. They do, and your kids do spirit, and now they all do spirit gifts. Laura works at Frisch's, and she'll go, Loki, I did something selfish. And she does that. Look, I did something selfish. And she says, I paid for something with my tips or whatever. And she said, but she did, like Matthew McConaughey, I did something selfish. Yeah. And she has expanded. So yeah, do something selfish, because it will come back at you. And then you just build up good energies up. You build the good energies, and then you forget about, I do want to be here. And and the trick is here, when you are having a great go at it, and you're, don't sit there and get overexcited and say, yeah, look at me, that's your ego. Yeah. Stay calm, good, even in the painful times. Do not react.
Right.
Don't attach to anything. And that is the goal of your life. And you go, how do I not attach to it? Don't listen to somebody saying, like Michelle, like, oh my God, Michelle, you're divorced. Oh, you're so strange. Nobody wants you. You could be divorced for quite some time and be single. And how does she approach it? Doesn't matter to me. I got spirit on my side. I got Christian. So, what? So I want to say what she's doing now to help her out. And please follow suit if you feel, because this has helped her out. And this is what they do. And I'll make it quick. So Krishna has made his appearance. Krishna. And you were like, why with Marcus? No, Marcus has made his own appearance. It's an aspect of Krishna. As Krishna is his own Krishna. And she had to wait. Krishna's come around and she journals, does channel writings with Krishna. And learning to trust. She gets up at 3, she gets up at 4:45 in the morning. And she'll do chants for Krishna. She goes in here to the picture you got her. So she comes in here and she chants, and she's in that with Krishna. She goes outside because, hey, hyper. And then respecting all his aspects, which is all of us. And she's so into that, knowing she's loved. And he's still working with her. I mean, this is not going to be like that. But didn't your mom say this is the best vacation I have had? And you even said this was no drama, because she is connecting. Because Krishna even said, I will make sure you all have a great vacation. Everybody in your family, just remember to love, be of service. Don't attach to things. Don't like. And he said to her, go to your sister and tell her how you feel compared, like certain things happen. And your mom out of the blue just said, hey, you can't react like that. And she was being very loving about it. And then that's when Spirit was saying, tell your mom. Tell your sister. And then these were all thoughts from her marriage that is gone. So that is what you do. All these things, Spirit will help guide you to do these things and do it in the way you're supposed to do things. But I wanted to kind of say all of that because I'm getting shut down. Quite literally, Spirit is saying, Loki, shut the hell up. So F bombs it out.
Oh, that was great. And a lot of this stuff is in our book.
It is.
Again, it's a spiritual guide to the blue heavens, illuminating a path out of your cave of suffering and up the mountain to joy. Hope to get it published soon. Very excited about it, but it is about this type of stuff. And it has affirmations in it, and it tells you quotes about stuff. It shines light on what we've done and allows us to fix it, heal it, accept it, whatever it is we need. We're super excited about it. I think this live was good. Actually, I wanted to add a thing about exit points. Mom in the car. So mom and dad pulled into your driveway and a car flew off the road and hit mom's side of the car. And that was a possible exit point for her, but she didn't want to leave. And Loki was able to kind of gather her so she didn't really experience this thing. She hurt from it for a really long time, but she didn't feel it or experience it. And I feel like a lot of that too was she's a good person. She does good stuff for people, and Loki loves us. And this trickstery part that people talk about, that was the trickstery part. He saved our mom. He helped our mom make this possible exit point not as bad because she wanted to stay.
Well, well, that's part of the trickster part. People don't understand the trickster part. All it is, I don't go by the rules of your universe, and I'm able to do pretty much what the hell I want to do. If you create it, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So that's what I do. And my vibration, I don't go by your human laws. I go by the laws, higher paradise. And she wasn't. She's a great person. There was an experience. There was a lesson to trust us. Yeah. Your mom and dad have a hard time trusting us. Do we take care of the girls? Do we do this? And now they know that they've always known this, but now with Kaya here, our daughter's not the same woman. There's something different about her, and they mistrust that. When you told your mom she wanted to experience, why did it happen? She wanted to experience. This is true what they do. Because you can talk about it to your parents and they're fine. She tries to talk about it, they shut her down. They used to shut her down. They don't no more. But before the car wreck, she would shut. Yeah. After the car wreck, you were told, because Michelle couldn't, you went and said, well, Loki did that. Loki took you out because I did that. I did that for Kenny. Remember, I did that for Kenny. I said, and there's 2 times he could have gone, but he wasn't ready. So I did what I did. And now she can, Lucaeus can channel and talk. On vacation, Kramarishna was talking, and they paid attention. Kea was talking. Whether they're paying attention or not, it didn't matter. I was talking to your parents, just kind of seeing little by little, whatever. But because she wanted to experience, can I trust them? So she put her own life on the line. Plus, it was an exit point. So it kind of worked out in multiple facets. Your mom is a multiple faceted old soul. Your dad is a new soul. He makes that quite known. He's a new soul. But she's a very old soul, but she wants to experience it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I love my kids so much, but that scares me what she does. And that scares her so bad. What would be, and when I did what I did, she knew, okay, I can trust them. She might not enjoy it or like or understand the journey, but she trusts us, which is the main thing we had really wanted for her, because she can talk to your dad.
Yeah.
He loves her more than anything. Now, if he can trust that we're going to help, and that will help him. So that experience was meant to happen. She wanted to happen so she could trust.
And we needed her to trust because we were beginning the book.
Right.
And one of the biggest obstacles in doing the book was mom and dad didn't want to hear about any of this stuff. They didn't trust it and believe it. So it's hard for us to do something like this if they didn't get it. So that also helped with the book. It allowed them to see that what we're doing is what we're supposed to be doing.
Right. Absolutely. So it helped. I just got to work on your mom's energy because it has got a trigger on her. So I need to, she does a lot of good karma. They have a lot of good energies. It's just me working on it. She wants to keep it for now.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get rid of this energy, and it's stuck on the driveway.
Right. And she's so afraid of cars still.
Mm-hmm. But the boat trip, did you notice it's a boat and she's in water? So we're trying to get her out of the fear.
Yeah, she did real good with that. I was really shocked.
Well, because Spirit's trying to teach her, you tried experience, now we're gonna, but yeah, that's how Spirit works. And this is Kea. That's how Spirit works. And they want to experience, you want to experience somebody else's realm to some degree. You create the illusion, you create the Maya to do so. But it don't always have to be that way. Your mom, it's just the way that's how she learns. And she wouldn't have learned any other way. It had to be something that she's going to remember, something that scared the hell out of her. But no, her life was on the line because she loves you both so much. She says that, she means it, and you girls are her life.
Yeah.
She has me as her, and she knows that. You even said your son is here, Anthony Earl. He's here. And she said, yeah, I know. Like she just knew, like, yeah, I know he's here too.
Like Doug, guys.
Okay, I know he's there. And I talk to your dad. I'll talk to him and he'll talk to me. And it's funny, and I can keep a conversation. Typically, Michelle can't. I can keep a conversation going, and he really enjoys it. I even offered the car he has, whatever he's got, and he said, you want to learn how to do standards? You can do that. Now he would never ask Michelle. It was me. It's like I can drive a standard shift. I can't, but no, Michelle, that should be hilarious to watch. But yeah, he offered that, and she goes, he would never ask me. I said, that's because I'm her son. I'm here.
Yeah.
But it is. It's all kinds of. But yeah, this was I think this life has gone very good. I enjoyed this life. I hope the information, everybody, if you need to rewind, and there was a lot thrown, but this is a multifaceted subject. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess our next Tuesday teaching, we talked about doing the Bhagavad Gita. Do we want to go ahead and start on doing the Bhagavad Gita?
This is Marcus. Heck yes. You have to do the Bhagavad Gita, and we can even kind of make it a series, because you can't just do that book in one life to give it any credit. You have to do multiple.
Let's do a series. We did our Dante's Inferno series that all is uploaded to YouTube now. So let's do a series on the Bhagavad Gita. I think it'd be great. And that's probably going to end up being one of the spirit gifts that we give away too, because it's an exceptional spiritual book. Like it's highly underrated, or just people just don't know enough about it, or they're afraid to read something other than the Bible. So we hope that this will open your eyes to something bigger than the perception the Bible offers us, because it's just one man manipulated piece of work that can help us through this life. And there's other books that can really help us get it. And the Bhagavad Gita is absolutely one that you get it. It's Sri Krishna taking his son Arjuna through life. So which is very similar to the Dante's Inferno, Virgil taking Dante through this life. So it's super helpful. And a lot of the tips and stuff in this book will be in our book also.
And this is Kramarishna. And so this will be, we're going to do this next month. We'll do this next month. Okay. But so next month, one lucky person. And well, Angie will create the rules because Angie's great at these rules. And we're going to make it 2 lucky people. We're going to make 2 lucky people. Okay. Oh, we're going to make it 3. We're going to make it 3. Our spirit says 3. 3 is our divine number.
Yep. 3's divine.
So not only will you get the Bhagavad Gita, okay, you're going to have a journal, because you got a journal when you get and listen to this book. Yeah. And the Path to God from Ram Dass, which explains what you just read. He explains how to journal to this book. He will explain all of the stuff that we're going to discuss in the live, and it'll help you understand everything that the book is trying to teach. So 3 lucky people will get this, and the rules will just be as Angie has put. This is like the rules. Well, we believe in this book so much. This is what we want you to do: is make notes, and you can color in your notes or whatever you feel like, and maybe one will just have coloring pens for somebody. Somebody will just be destined to do this, and they'll be like, wow, that's what I needed. So 3 lucky people will have this as a spirit's gift next month.
That's awesome. So we'll figure out how to do rules and stuff. I guess off the top of my head, I'm thinking you have to be an active member, maybe watch these lives, comment or ask questions. Maybe I want this to be people that are corresponding with us during this, because those are going to be the ones that would really appreciate it. So, well,
another thing that we can do, I heard Loki say this, so we know you are watching the live. We'll ask questions that was talked about in the live, and if you can answer these questions, then that will put you in there, and we could add you so many times on this wheel for somebody. So that way we know you've watched the live if there's a question, and they're like different things, but you've had to watch the live to understand what is being asked, and we'll go by all of that. That way we know you're watching that live. We know you're getting something out of that, and that way we know you really do want this, and you want that. And that's up to Angie. Do you feel that's a great idea? That just came from Loki. He said he felt that was great.
I think so. I think you can answer a question. Like if you can answer one of the questions, I think that's probably a really good idea. And we will do our spirit gifts from Jerry's Kids giveaway Thursday. So in 2 days, we'll do our next giveaway to all the people that are active members that have watched, liked, and or commented on our Facebook lives. And again, there's like the point system that we've shared before. So it's weighted, and we will show the gifts on Thursday, and we'll see who the lucky winners are, and then we'll send them out. And we hope you've enjoyed this. I enjoy this, and I love all the spirit gifts, and I hope you guys enjoy the spirit gifts. I hope that you like what we bring to the table.
And this is Marcus. You notice Kaya moved Michelle's hair back, if you notice. Yeah, Marcus moved it, yeah. Or Kaya, my son, whatever his name is. We don't really have names. We just go by light. So this is the name thing is just for you humans, but otherwise we don't. We just go by light, scent. There we are. That's it. But yeah, and so Michelle, just quickly, all her life she has smelled like a cherry scent. Cherry vanilla scent all her life, and she had smelled it in a really long time, and she smelled it yesterday. She goes and she like whips it in. She goes, what is that? That's not an incense. I can't find that scent anywhere. There's no perfume that has that scent. She realized that was Sri Krishna.
Oh,
his cherry blossoms, the lotus.
Yeah,
she didn't even know, and she says, oh wow, that really. So he was following her this whole time, and she said, what kind of a stocky thing would I like? That's good.
Yeah. We're used to that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if you notice the hair thing, Kaya will do this and read the hair. He does. Her poor kids. When I say poor kids, it's always they're like he wants to take the Croswell tag, but Kaya Loki. So you don't have to put nothing for Loki. You just know it's Loki.
Yeah, you just said.
But Laura's, I think the one Dylan says Kay is still, Trevor just goes, hey, you.
Yeah.
And that, so we're like, it's all right. But it's just, it's kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, we're going to have, and we have an additional spirit gift, Angie. We are going to add this one.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow.
But I believe that this belongs to one of your children now.
Oh, huh.
This felt like it belonged over to you, and it is somewhere over there, and you already know who it is because it feels like it goes to one of your children.
Yeah, I think I know which child you were discussing. Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay, so that would be her spirit gift and that. So I just wanted to go ahead and that, but, and we have a little corgi to celebrate Arthur. That'll be a spirit gift.
Oh, I love her.
You might as well, you will have his spirit gift. But thank you for being here and that. I'm hearing just everybody comments and that, but we like to thank spirit. We like to thank Krishna. For if it wasn't for Krishna, we're not here. I like to thank for all his thoughts that he's ever had, because it created us to be here, and we're teaching this many facets of a beautiful teacher named Krishna. And we are here. We are representing Shiva and Krishna. And we have a wonderful teacher that is teaching Shiva. So Krishna now has his own platform with all of us and that. So we like to thank Sri Krishna for allowing this teaching, allowing this love, allowing the people to listen to disciplines, to help them strive and to love and to discover whatever creator, whatever creator they decide to join, whoever, Lucifer, either, and if it's just your higher mind, we just wish you discover that, because given that control to a higher power is the most unbelievable experience. You experience joy, bliss. Michelle has experienced so much joy and bliss, peace, something she's never experienced because Sri Krishna has just all her life has been there. She just now noticed it. She one song from George Harrison. She was like, "Who's Hare Krishna? Who is Hare Krishna?" Well, he was Hare Krishna. He thought that was funny. He's very comedic. But we want you to discover who is it that you can trust so deeply and love, and you get to a place where you feel like nobody understands you, and you're going to feel separated. You're going to feel alone. And you go, I have nowhere, and you go to your cave. But if you have a love of a higher power, this higher-ness, and because you do really come from you do create everything. You are Krishna. Krishna is you, or whoever, God, Jesus, whoever. It does not matter. It's the same energy. It is the same. And believe in something higher that they love you, and they will prove and validate you over and over and over. I love you. You need to stay here. The course is here and will guide you. That book that is being written is going to help so many people understand. We're going to have meditations. We're going to have a Spotify playlist. We're going to have music to correspond with each level. There's going to be a quiz. And we're going to even have, if we can do a spinny thing, and you can choose your deity for the day. Michelle does that. And it's hilarious. We do it like that for the day. And today is me, of course.
Of course it is.
Of course, but and make it fun and playful, because spirit is fun and playful. And that book is going to give so much, and we're going to have meditations from every level, and we're going to help. And each level, you're going to have a wonderful teacher named Loki remove this energy and remove in this as you go and expand. And you go, how can a book do that? It can, because it is wrote by spirit. It's being channeled by spirit. So yes, it can. The Bible, when you read the Bible, and the Bhagavad Gita, that's why we believe so strongly. We want the people that will get that book, it will help them open up to a whole other level and understand Krishna or a Godhead. It don't have to be Krishna. It's for anybody, and it applies, and it's wonderful. And that's why, and we love everybody. We just want the best for everybody. We love everybody, and we just want you. And then today, we want you to really be into your element of love. I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. It was taught by a student of Ram Dass. I am loving awareness. And you put your hands on your heart, and you see this heart center, because you remember your heart, and your mind and your heart mind. You're not this. And I am loving awareness. I am loving awareness. And any thought that's coming forth, I love every thought. I love every thought that comes out. Every thought is me, so I love every thought. And you feel that. You just feel that peace. And you'll see everything from a loving awareness. So try that today. Yeah. And then add that in our book. I got that. I have that right. I know right where that is. Yeah. I thought perfect for the book when people need that. So we want to make sure people got that today. And that. So I will hand it to my priestess, however that goes.
I don't know where I'm at. And we love y'all. We're excited that you joined us. We hope you're excited about the book. We're excited about the book. I was talking about how good it was the other day, and my oldest daughter Elliot was like, you sound like you're egotistical. It's like, I didn't write the book. So it feels a little different. I see it through the eyes of a reader, not through the eyes of an author, right? Because I'm channeling it. And as a reader, I think this book is effing awesome. And I think it's really going to help a lot of people. And I'm super proud that Michelle and I are able to be vessels for it to come into form, to come into physical form, so we can help people not choose failure to thrive. So we can have people not creating their own exit points and go to the end and really achieve your real exit point where you were celebrated and you were met with a light. You're not going to want to punish yourself with anything. You successfully did it. So let all the garbage go, surrender to a higher power, know something bigger than you knows everything about you, and it wants to steer you towards better and bigger things. Trust it. And it's a process, but and it's scary, and you may feel crazy and insane, and that's just kind of part of it. You are outgrowing the human you learned to be. It wasn't right. So it kind of is crazy when you're like, whoa, none of this was right. It wasn't. It's all right. Give yourself a break. Forgive your parents. If you were like, my parents were shitty to me, forgive them. Their parents were probably really shitty to them too. We need to start forgiving all the people that hurt us because somebody along the line hurt them. So they're just repeating cycles. You are loved. You are safe. You are protected. You're not going to be harmed if you don't want to be harmed. You are in control. You are in control of your body. Other spirits can't come in unless you allow it. So there's a lot here, but you are loved. You are seen. You are heard. You are unconditionally loved. And all of your mistakes were just experiences. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. The shame, the guilt, let that shit go. You really deserve to be in a better place in life. You don't deserve to be stuck in this cave of suffering anymore. Don't allow it. Don't want that for yourself anymore. Use your brain to start creating miracles instead of bullshit.
And so, this is Michelle, and just quickly, Spirit wants me to quick. I just saw my hair. Kaya, he does this a lot. If I was when I go back, I meditate. Like, so somebody would have told me, talking to my child, my inner self, my kid, and being myself in school, being picked on, didn't want to be here. I didn't want to be here. But I see myself now, not knowing the experiences, not knowing how I got to this point. But if I could see my smiling self, I may not understand all the male here dressing like a man, but I'm happy. I see that I'm happy. I know I'm going to have to endure a bunch of shit because the little kid, she knows this is not the end of it. She knows there's going to be some shit happening and she don't want to do it. I remember I didn't want to do this. I didn't. I was over it. Even as a kid, I was over it completely.
Hey, me too.
But, yeah, we both were. We both were. I think that's why we both fought. Like, we didn't even want to get close to each other because my mind, I'm not going to be here long enough to have a sister.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. That's why I did the four-wheelers. I did crazy shit to leave because I didn't want to be here anymore. I thought that's what it was supposed to be about. But if I could talk to like the little me and she listened to this person, not understanding all of this, but feel the joy, the happiness. She doesn't know like what happened to you, what happened. And show me what you're doing. Here's Loki, here's Locaeus. They're already with you. They're already with you. Just open your eyes and see they're already with you. You're not alone. If I'd just known that, I was not ever alone. And I can see myself now. I'm still in a position where I'm happy where I am. I'm happy in my life. I see that there is potential. I see love now. I am happy. I can dress like this now. I let Kaya dress however he wants to dress. And that is the best, like the most authentic part I can feel. If somebody would just told her that same damn thing, you are not alone. You're some incredible beings. You and your sister are gonna channel these beings for other people. You're just gonna be a vessel. Oh, what a fucking hard is that? Why do I want to leave when you know spiritual and this was your purpose? You never were alone. You were loved from the very beginning. You were here. Your mom and dad had thrown you clues all your effing life. Kay was always here. I just didn't know it. I always thought I was by myself. We, Nancy, always thought that. If we could look at ourselves, it would just make such a difference. Maybe I'd want to fight. Maybe I'd make different choices. But if I'd made different choices, I wouldn't be here right now. I don't want to change any of that. I don't. I sat in my cave for years, and sometimes I just wanted to just exit. But I'd much rather have gone through everything I went through, including all of that, to be here right now, to teach all of you that there's so much more to your life. I can't wait. Me and Angie can't wait for the next step of our life. This book is wrote by Spirit. It's wrote by Spirit. We're just vessels, and we're honored. We're honored for Spirit to do that. We are observing. That's all. We're in observing mode in this book for everybody, because we love somebody, because we want nobody else to ever feel the way we felt. But we had experienced these things, so we could teach you it's okay. Pride Month and all of these things. We just be whoever you're meant to be. This was one of the hardest things for me to do. My ego's watching Kaya do it. And Kaya goes, are you okay? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do this? Because part of it, here I am. And my kids said, just do it. Yeah. When we went to Goodwill and I got his clothes, I just felt that light being. He was excited. He was going to have a name. I approached everybody, call him Kaya, so that he can be informed, because he's here and he's important. He should be acknowledged. But if somebody would have said, your brother's going to be here with you, and you don't know what life has for you at the end of it. All of your hardships, all of it is going to lead to something beautiful purpose. Maybe you're going to write a book. Maybe you're going to help somebody. You don't know that. But if you leave, you'll never know. If I'd have left, I would be here right now. What? That would have been sad. So don't. Just stay. See what you can achieve. And Angie B can tell you that. There's a book being wrote, and we're honored. We're happy because Spirit. We were never alone. Never alone. And I think that's what I just wanted to make sure. I felt this was needed for somebody. And I want to make sure that if you express yourself, and when being told you're gender fluid, Laura's now dressing the way she said she felt. She helps Kaya. Dylan helps Kaya dress, and even Dave. They help him dress. They help him be. When he's confused, they help. So if you have this Pride Month, I'd rather you ask versus just stare. Because Kay is a part of my life now, and I will do whatever to make him happy. And I just want to make sure somebody out there needs to hear that. It's okay. It's okay. I just felt like from Spirit, but like I said, from here to here, not knowing. But the beautiful thing is Spirit has been with me and Angie. It believed in us, and we didn't believe in anything. It believed in us. It gave us great parents. It gave us all kinds of wonderful things. And Angie got a beautiful husband, beautiful children. I got beautiful children. And I got a best friend for my ex-husband. All of this from the experiences I had. Yeah. Just stay and see what you can do. Just stay, be grateful. Yeah. And look at all those experiences. Just look back and say, they happened for a reason. What did I learn from that? And then just know there's a higher power that's been with you from the very beginning, that has loved you for no other reason, but just to love you. Just no other reason. So you can take that and show somebody else love. That's the biggest thing for me and Angie when we do Spirit gifts, is just simply to love. What can we do to serve? And that's what we do. We serve. We serve Spirit, and we serve our followers. And that's what we're here to do. And we enjoy that, because we know we wish somebody like that would have been here for us. And we just want to make sure all of you have that. at your disposal. You have that. To teach you, you have that too. So you never have to feel one day that what we felt.
Yeah. And we're not special. You have a guide. Everybody has their own guide who loves them and wants the best for them, and that leads them to better places. Absolutely. So you've got a team. It's actually just not even a guide. There's a spirit team, and they all have different roles to play to help you out. We'll have to do a live on that someday, so you understand all the spirit guides, because there's master teachers and all kinds of stuff that come in at certain points of our lives to help us through it. You're never alone. Like, our whole planet makes us feel like we're separate. Our countries are separate, our states are separate, and our counties are separate. Nothing's separate. Man-made separations. We're all the same. We're just all unique. Again, it's like a diamond. God is a diamond. We are all just a facet on it. So we are reflecting whatever surroundings we're in, but we have different surroundings. We're all connected, but we're all still a separate facet. And that is our personality. And we're not this body. We're not this. All right, I have to pee.
I know. And this is Marcus. I'm back. I just wanted her to speak.
Yes,
and that she just
perfect.
Okay, so yeah, I'm back to where I can do my I get paranoid if I don't do this. I get so paranoid, and everybody like, dude, you're so strange.
All right. All right, so we love y'all. We will see you on Thursday for Ask Lazarus and for our next Spirit Gifts from Jerry's Kids. We love y'all. We'll see you then.